On today's episode, we're answering the question, no, we're not, because I'm on the wrong damn outline.
The first tip here is to keep it simple, speaker. You have all of the content you could possibly need at your fingertips. You already know everything you need to know. So you don't need to go out and, as the expert that you are, go out and seek more knowledge, because I know that subject matter experts are inclined to spend time wanting to know more and more and more, hoarding knowledge. But the fact is that you actually already have the content for a speech, a talk, a keynote, a sell from stage webinar, a podcast, or you already have that all at your fingertips right now in terms of what you can speak about. The challenge here for most experts is actually narrowing it down to a singular topic, which can feel like that can be a challenge in terms of prioritizing certain topics over others and trying to decide what your best first topic is. I can tell you how to do that.
I was going to say, I was just going to jump in and say that is literally that's literally how I felt the first time I was thinking about doing something like this. You know, Allison and I went on a bit of an application blitz to speak on virtually or even in person, different stages, right? So, and that was a huge challenge about that too, right? And I just want to know from you, how do you think that we can narrow down this field, this topic, so that we know what to talk about? Because it does feel daunting. I can talk about like 5 different things at a really expert level. How do I narrow it down?
I mean, that's exactly what most clients come to me saying. I have so many things that I can talk about. Some people come with an educator background. You know, my job has been to talk about 20 different things on the regular. So how do I narrow it down to just one? So the first thing I would suggest is make a list, a long list, and empty your mind of all of the topics. And what you'll probably find is that you have a few key themes, and other things on your list will become supporting points. And so they're maybe not as strong an idea on their own. They might complement others, or simply they're just not great ideas, but you've got them out of your head and you will quickly see what the better ideas are. You'll probably have 3 to 5 that you feel confident on, positive about, you know, that you can speak about that. And so then with your shortlist, you're going to go ahead and have a think about what ties directly to what you're selling right now. So go back to your signature program. Think about what your plans are for the next 12 months. So we're not talking about the next 3 to 6 even. Think about 12 months and ahead if you are in that position to do so. If you're not, think about the next 90 days and what you would love to sell the heck out of. Because you are going to find that the topics that you can speak with the most confidence are likely tied to your signature program, a service, a product, a book you've written. So go ahead then and cross out anything that isn't related to what you want to sell in the next 90 days. And then the next filter you're going to apply is thinking about what are the juiciest topics on that list. So what is most likely to get the attention of a host? And secondarily, what are their audience going to love? So what problems are you actually solving for their audience, but also thinking about the way that you describe the problem that you solve. So the things that you can talk about, and making sure that you are in fact using all your words in the most enticing way so that you can use what you know and grab your potential host's attention with that.
I really like how you broke that down into that process, because that's narrow it down to, but now when you narrow it down to 5, all right, because I know Jenny and I know me and I know our clients, should those 5 be related to each, like, so I'm a copywriter. I can talk about copy, but I can also talk about email marketing. I can talk about funnels. I can talk about marketing in general. I can talk about psychology. When I narrow it down, should I be focused mostly on copy, or should I be a little more broad so I'm kind of covering all the bases?
More specific is going to be easier for an audience to absorb and understand who you are and what you're about. So picking one problem and solving it well is better than providing an encyclopedic knowledge about any given topic. So my advice to anyone that's thinking about whether to narrow down is to define one area rather than trying to provide a training catalog. Now, I'm a former educator, so for me that hurts. That's hard. For anyone who's an expert, you have a bunch of things that you can pull from. But what I would encourage you to do as someone who's an aspiring speaker or looking to go from no fee to paid speaking as well is to think about creating one talk that is then easy for you to pull down off the shelf. Because the more ease you can create for yourself when you're creating space for yourself in your business as a speaker, and it does take some work, is to think about how to create ease. The quickest way to do that is to create a signature talk. So that's focusing on one topic and sticking to it for some time. So you can go ahead and you can plan out 3 talk topics that you eventually want to get to delivering. You could even start marketing those different talks and see what you get bites on. But essentially what you're going to do is create the talk and the slides that you can then 80-20. So when you're looking for events, you're going to find that you can tweak the title, tweak examples, but the core content largely remains the same so that you are creating efficiency in your world and not making it such a heavy lift every time you want to go out and do a talk. That also makes it much easier. Instead of having to bomb 100 different applications, you can narrow it down and spend less time because you've already got the description, the title, that need tweaking, not starting from scratch every time you're applying or pitching.
How about those events though that want that exclusivity of the talk? Like when I applied to a recent one, it said, have you presented this topic anywhere else? And it kind of felt like through the application process, they wanted something completely original.
Okay, so then it takes us into, what is this talk worth to you? Are you getting paid for this talk, or is this a free visibility building?
It was a visibility builder.
Okay, so do you have capacity to create a talk from scratch? Do you have, number 2 talk on your signature talk list that you want to develop? So it kind of creates that internal motivation to get it done. These are some of the things that I'd be thinking about, and if I'm creating something net new, to make sure that it's a good investment of your time, because we can't make any more of that.
That makes a lot of sense. And I also applied to that same place and thought, well, if I don't get the stage, then I've got the talk made. And if I do get the stage, well, then I'll just do it after. So so you can, because they want exclusivity now, doesn't mean that I can have to never present it again.
Absolutely. You can leverage that for content, not only for talks, but then you've also got, blogs, you've got social posts, you've got another asset essentially for your business. So I would never discourage people, if they have the capacity to create additional aligned content that is serving their greater goals, whether it be speaking or income goals, if it's aligned and you've got the capacity and you can use it in the future for a free visibility builder, that may be worth your time. If it's something you're getting paid for, then absolutely that's part of the time that you factor in as a creator, to then be paid to create and deliver that.
My nostrils were flaring.
I know.
Stop. Okay.